It is Sunday, August 31st, which means it's time to start on the Halloween stuff outside. So we've got the giant skeleton up already. We're bringing out the tombstones, but today we're going to put in the fencing. We've got to fence off the yard. So we divide it into three sections that are labeled. This one's for this side with our neighbors. It's going to separate that fence line all the way down to the corner of our property, and then around and up this corner back over to here. And the point is that prop there, the one with the box, a hole missing in the back, is where the fire goes. That's our flame prop obelisk thing, so we need to keep the kids away from that. And then panning over to the other side, we've got two other sections to do. So we've got one rolled up and ready to get this section here. Again, keep kids from running through the yard and ripping up all the cords, so it's going to follow the path down to the edge. And then that other one way over here is going to come down the sidewalk and up the other side of the path. So when we're all done, we'll have limited access to the yard, so we can deploy the cemetery and all the pumpkins and the flicker lights and all that sort of thing. And then we'll get the webbing up. So today's mission, get the yard fenced off. Let's go. So of course, you know it's raining, because why wouldn't it be? But that just makes the ground softer for pounding in fin stakes. Unfortunately, we have a little bit of a problem. I'm not a very crooked line drawer, so I've got it all rolled out, right? Oops. So I decided to get a piece of string and run a straight line here. So I'm gonna go back and fix all these, get them in a nice straight anal retentive line, and then we should have concrete to deal with everywhere else we go. Let's do this. I'd also point out, this isn't meant to be done alone. The best thing I love about Halloween is working with my friends and doing something cool. The thing I hate most about Halloween is having to do it all alone. But such is life. I still like the end result. Okay, so that's half the yard. That wasn't terrible. I'm glad it rained because it made those a lot easier to pound in. They're not totally straight, and the fencing kind of pooches out a little bit, so I tend to squeeze it at the corners to pull all that pooching in. See, there's one of those tombstones laying on the ground we're gonna fix. But you get a reasonably straight line down the sidewalk, and then you're using that straight line we did earlier. You know, basically, it's pretty much lined up. It pooches back and forth a little, but it's not too bad. So we're gonna get to setting the tombstones on this side and then doing the rest of the fence. Okay, so the tombstones have a bad habit of falling over in the rain, in the wind. So we've put holes and pipes in the bottom of them, and I'm just gonna use this short rebar. So we'll put a couple of these in the ground where we want the tombstone to go. And you go, oh wait, how are you gonna know how far apart to put the holes? Because you made a template when you made the tombstones of how far apart those holes are. So I just keep this bad boy around, take it out in the yard, pound the stakes in, set the tombstones. Let's go. Ta-da. Take the template off. 2 sticks in the ground. These are the holes on this thing. Well, this is hard to do, one person. Haha. There we go. One down. Yeah, I forgot to mention. So these things. So you can take your normal tombstone, get a spade bit and drill like, I don't know, you'd measure it, but you know, a hole or some 1-inch hole, something like that. And whatever's appropriate. These are some screw-on PVC end caps that work great for holding rebar. You can also put it in couplers or whatever you want, but I like these because they had the fatter lip on them, the little flange, so that we can go slipping inside the tombstone. You can also fill these things up with sand while you're at it and make them nice and sturdy, but then they're kind of a bitch to carry around. So I didn't do that. My friend Sam Nicholson helped me build this, getting the angles right and all that. It's like 1/4-inch plywood, which we used a router on to make all the little cracks and filled them in. Sprayed the whole thing with sealing texture and brushed on some like gray paint with the concrete stuff mixed in it, the sand mixed in it, and then dry brushed a little texture over the top after we put the black on the details. Anyway, as big thanks for him helping me out. I said he died of syphilis a couple years ago. It's fabulous. Come work with me. This is the back side of my flame monument. So the back panel's removable. It's got these little magnet clasps here. There's a shelf where the flame unit sits in here, and then this hole for the propane line to go down. And then we put a 5-gallon propane tank sitting in here, and I've run a little bit of power to it from over this joint junction that's going to run the skeleton and the fogger and all that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite things. It's got a couple bugs living in it this year. Makes it all the spookier. And there's this hole here. So you can just take this unit, stick it on. Ta-da! And this is just, you know, foam that we routered and aged with a heat gun. Van Oaks Props taught us how to do all that. Turned out pretty cool. And then I have this removable rain hat. So on Halloween night, the lid is off. Here sits the flame machine and shoots its flames 3-4 feet into the sky. I've got some screw eye hooks here as a guide. So this thing just goes down right over the top. One of my favorite props. Hey, Skelly, what do you think about all this? You watching the yard? Okay, I'll go do that side next. All right, that's 2. I just gotta do the other side now. Way easier with a line to follow though. And getting a little bit better at tightening it up. It's about 4 o'clock, 90 degrees, 90-something% humidity. Austin, Texas, of course, and it's been a cool summer. But we've got 2/3 of the way done here. Tombstones are all up. Big Skelly's up. Fence is 2/3 up. We started on Spook Truck. Still have to add some LEDs to the roof rack at the top. And then we can move on to putting out the torches on the fence and stringing up all the spider webs. I don't think I'll get that done today. But okay, 4:17 p.m. and that's done. The fencing is up. Why do we do this? Why bother? It was, I don't know, a couple $100 the first year to do it. Plus the lights, probably $500 all in. Well, kids are smart, and they know it's most efficient to run from the front door to the next front door. And if they do that, they're gonna tear up all the wiring that's gonna run through the yard for lighting and DMX and fog and electricity and the pumpkins. It's all gonna get torn up. So I have to keep them out of the yard somehow. So the most economical route was just this kind of black square aluminum fencing on these stakes, and then you just keep the stakes in place and roll it all up and label it. Okay, this is the Warren side, this is the middle, this is the other side. And so they're pretty easy to put out the next year. And they're really pretty efficient. It keeps kids out of the yard. It kind of safeguards a lot of the props and stuff. And keeps them safe, keeps them away from the fire monument over there. And we're gonna put some torches on these, some electric LED torches, kind of every so often. And it looks really, really cool at night. So it's also some pretty good set dressing. So this is all part of the phase 1 of the yard, was the fencing, cemetery, pumpkin patch, skeletons, spider webs. Like phase 1 was everything outside. So I'm gonna hope to get all that done September. And then October, we'll put the big 10x20 tent out here. We'll get to work on the haunt itself and extend it into the garage, into the 3rd bay this year. That's phase 3, is going back inside the garage. But only my parking spot. I want my wife to still be able to park her car. So yeah, that's the plan this year. If you've ever wondered, where do you store all this stuff? I have this attic here above the 3rd bay garage. And it's packed to the rim. Now usually the giant skeleton kind of goes right back there. But for now, it's holding up a cooler and half a corpse. I've got my skull catacombs stacked up back there. The big black bag are the pumpkins. Got the head for the scarecrow. Got the scorched scarecrow there. Some spider legs and body in the back. Spider webbing in the bags. and then lighting boxes up here, and the flame cannon. So that's like everything behind the halfway point. In the front, we've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, various signs from the kids' activities, flowers for the flower boxes. So basically, a full 2/3 of the attic above here holds most of the stuff for the yard and the haunt. So I have this philosophy of not being an asshole to future me. And so past me is a hell of a guy. Past me has helpfully labeled and organized everything. We have LED candle repair. We've got all of our pneumatics in one bin. We have, our projector housing, low voltage cable here. That'll help with the fence in the yard. I've got my haunt electrical, which are things like black extension cords and stuff like that. I've got haunt electronics, which are all of the haunt computers basically, and connecting bits to make all that happen. And electrical buttons and switches and things of all sorts, sensors. We have dumb lights, spiders, danger sign, and miscellaneous. And even that right there on top are the lights for my truck. Pull those out. Very good. And then we have, what's below that? Oh, that's all the low voltage lighting is in there. DMX fixtures are in here, and their little rain condoms and all the bits and bobs for those. And then we've got another one over here with the DMX cables and receivers and transmitters and things like that. And everybody needs 20 by 100 feet of black tarp and all my maker pipe connectors. Okay, so it is 7:35 p.m., June 31, and Skelly's up and going, which is one objective for today. He's hiding behind this bush. We've got the fence up with the little torch lamps. Spook truck is done back there. So that's Skelly here. And the fence line done. We have our lighting box ready to deploy our DMX light for the yard. All the tombstones are out. Looks pretty cool. And then over here on the right side, fenced in area, we've got our pumpkin table up. Put some projection pumpkins there. Go Timberwolves. Although I think I'm gonna relabel that werewolf, just to be funny. I need to Photoshop that or something. And our other lighting box down there. And all the flame torches and the pathway. And we got the spider out and set up. So our Black Widow is here. All of her eyes light up individually and blink and that sort of thing. And she can spray water on the kids. So I think I might hook up the water sprayer this year and see where it goes. Anyway, not bad for August 31.